So, filming my second video back to back. I told you guys I would do it, and I'm switching it up a little bit. I'm gonna be doing a little series now. It's like walk and talk. So I go on a lot of walks after my meals just to get steps in outside of cardio, and I thought I would bring you guys along with me. Hopefully like the wind doesn't interfere with the audio and stuff like that. But I had a really rough time 2 days ago. I stood up after one of my meals, and typically before I would stand up before prep and I would get lightheaded regardless, but I stood up and all my vision went black except for like maybe I could see like that much, but everything was completely black. And I swear to God, I was so close to passing out. So I was definitely showing signs of hypoglycemia and also just like brain fog. Obviously this is gonna happen regardless during prep, but it was so substantial. Like I've been through hard times in my life, especially like dieting wise with soccer and training and stuff like that, that I realized that it was actually pretty bad. So yesterday I got a refeed, and so I had 300 grams of carbs. I am feeling much better. So it definitely worked. And now we're gonna go hit a back day soon. I'm just going on this little walk, and then I get to drink my pre-workout. And the other day I almost forgot to do my cardio. I was studying all day for one of my really hard classes and also just like binge watching anime. And it was about, it was perfect timing. I think I have to do 50 minutes of cardio and the gym literally closed in like an hour, so I had like 10 minutes to get there. It's perfect. But what I'm trying to say is, when you have to do something, like I had no obligation to do that other than prep, right? But if I'm outside of prep, like I wouldn't even have to have gone to the gym to do that, you know what I mean? So just holding yourself accountable regardless of the circumstances at hand to be able to get this stuff done. Because typically, obviously during prep, you get refeeds when you're starting to look really flat. Like, you'll send check-ins to your coach and you'll start to flatten out and look depleted. But I genuinely think that I will not flatten out until peak week, just because my muscle bellies are really good. So like it looks like I'm fuller than I actually am, if that makes sense. Like I feel flat, but I do not look it. My energy levels have been going down a little bit. So my day is kind of just spent doing school, the gym, food, like especially timing your meals. So important, especially on prep. Not so much out of prep, but because you have so much glycogen stores that it doesn't really matter about your timing. But for somebody like me, where you're fully depleting your glycogen stores, it is absolutely essential that you're able to eat carbs before and after your workout, because that is what's going to provide you energy throughout your lift. And if you don't do it, trust me, you're going to feel it energy wise, and you're going to be super flat. Okay, I promise. Last thing before I go in, special shout out to my amazing, beautiful girlfriend, Tara. She not only helps me study for my classes, but she's supporting me through this whole prep. Not even just here, but like long distance, which is pretty crazy, especially with her schedule. She's a very hardworking girl who is getting her doctorate in physical therapy. And she's going to be back on April 10th to the 18th. So I'll be making a cool video with her. And as far as content goes after prep, I'm still going to be filming fitness videos, obviously. But I do want to start incorporating a lot more lifestyle within those videos with her alongside me, because as I talked about before, making memories that you can look back on with family, friends, whatever. I also want to use this as in posting videos for YouTube, to document myself for my future kids to watch further down the line. Because, all of your parents have photo albums and stuff like that, but who can truly say that they have very authentic videos of their parents just having fun, or like, me going to the gym, stuff like that, going on vacation, filming a little bit here and there. It doesn't have to be anything crazy, but how special is that? So stay tuned for that as well. You'll get to learn a little bit more about me personally and her as well, because, you know, you guys don't even know her that well either. We've been together 6 years, 6+ years, since sophomore year in high school. So it's been a long time, and seriously, I would be nowhere near where I am right now without her. Truly, she is like my #1 cheerleader, you know? Almost like, exactly like my mom. Like, no one's gonna cheer you on as good as your mom, and it's exactly how I feel with her, which is, you know, a great feeling where you can be yourself and not have to put up some front that you're some guy that, you know, you aren't really. And we go and we have long talks about what it would be like, you know. There's other people out there that are very materialistic. And man, especially doing long distance relationships, it's like we just want to be together and be happy. That's all it is. And I could not have asked to find a better person for myself. And it's crazy because, you know, the stars align, and I moved from somewhere and she moved from somewhere, and we both ended up in this one spot, and boom, we ended up at the same high school, and now we're together, and we've been together. It's pretty surreal, man. Pretty surreal. So now I'm going to shut up, and you guys can go watch me lift some weight and see a little physique update, because I'm getting new veins every single day. Bro, out of nowhere in spring, the great heavens just started fucking crying on how freaking beautiful that speech was. So I'm assuming God's saying, yo, W, Anthony, let's go. actually didn't end up wrapping up that video, so I'll wrap it up here. But I did want to leave you guys with something that I also had on my mind. A lot of people will look into the future about, getting their dream job, getting, that car, getting that paycheck, or, just advancing in life. And I've been thinking that way ever since I was about, I don't know, middle school. Oh, I want to go to high school and I want to join the varsity soccer team. Check, did that. Then I want to go play in college. Check, did that. Then once you get these achievements and you get to that place that you've always been envisioning, you forget almost to live in the moment of when you're getting there. So even now, I have this idea that I want to be this natural professional bodybuilder, right? But sometimes that idea can be so engraved in your head and you can be so obsessed with just that end goal that you really forget to enjoy the process of you getting there. And that's not even just within bodybuilding, obviously, like I was saying, that's just within life. A lot of people will then, when they're older, look back, the good old days. No, it's not the good old days. They were the good days. They don't have to necessarily be old. They're just old in your brain. Like, you can still do half of the stuff in your old days that you are literally doing today. So live in the present and don't get so caught up on advancing and climbing the ladder, whether that's like within the workplace or social media, because I know a lot of you also want to be doing kind of what I'm doing. Although I just do it for fun, some of you actually want to make it a career, and that's awesome, but just don't get blinded by, I don't want to say society's expectations, because ultimately the expectations of society is what you put on yourself. Life is what you make of it and how you perceive it. So don't live in the good old days or, live in retrospect. Live in the moment and make sure that you savor every single moment so that you can fully absorb every feeling that you were feeling in that moment. And yeah, I've been really thinking about that a lot. And I think sometimes for some individuals, it's too late by the time they figure that out. And, it's really sad. I've seen it happen. It's really sad. So you guys, don't get caught up in chasing that one goal. Enjoy the process and live a happy life. I love you all, for real. The support that I got in the last YouTube video, YouTube is kind of just a side thing for me. So seeing that support that I got was pretty dope. And even on like my socials during prep, seeing some of the comments and stuff like that really helps me keep pushing on some of the hard days that I have. So truly, I appreciate it. And I'll see you guys next week for a leg day.